Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome or welcome back. So, I accidentally found a new favorite book. I I only heard about it about last week and was just going to read it. I reserved it at the library. Was planning on having to wait for a while, and then it came up. So I uh, started reading it, and maybe like 50 pages in, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to own this book. I really enjoy it, and I know it will be worth having. And so I ordered the book. It came today. I finished the book last night, so I finished it. Uh, and returned it to the library, but I do have a copy. And like I said, I accidentally found it. I accidentally became my favorite, and so I'm sure that you guys have not heard of it. It was a new release this year. It just came out, I think, in January. It is called The Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. The tagline is "A pawn dies and a queen rises." It's first of all, it's a beautiful book. One of the reasons why I wanted a copy. So it does have like the painted edges, and obviously, like any fantasy book, it's going to have a map. But it also has a beautiful, just the hardcover edition. It's just an excellent book overall. So I'm really excited to have it as part of my collection. It's going to be really hard to talk about it and do it justice because there's so many twists and turns. I want to tell you about the book but not give anything away, because part of why I loved it so much is I went in knowing so little about it and I didn't know what to expect, and just it blew me away. So on the back it says, "A demon births an angel, a fool births a genius, and a pawn births a queen." This book, I am not even going to be able to do it justice, most of all because I won't be able to explain very much. So I'm going to talk about the beautiful and amazing magic system that it includes, the such unique storytelling. I really have not read anything like this. Is one of the reasons why I loved it so much, is I never knew what was going to happen next. And also, it has all of my favorite themes. The deep stuff that I love reading about, great characters, my bread and butter. So like I feel like this book was written specifically for me, and I read it at the exact time that I needed it. I was struggling in a reading slump this past month with everything going on in the world, with the United States and Israel's invasion of Iran, and all the stuff going on in the United States with, rolling back a lot of human rights, and just the insanity going on in the world. So I needed something, and this was the answer. And so this is a world where the rich are able to basically purchase custom bodies. So there's basically your soul is this thing that can go from body to body, and you can move it along. So as you age, you can get a newer and younger version of whatever kind of body you want. And that soul that could be transferred is called the pith. And that's already a really interesting premise, with the fact that the protagonist, it's a very inclusive trans celebration book, with the protagonist being a girl who is she was very sick at a young age, and her mother had to try to acquire a body on the black market because otherwise she would die. And the only body that she could get was this the cheapest, basically they call them Edgars. So it's a male body, but it's basically a whole bunch of all the same kind of bodies. They're all, there's no uniqueness to it. They're just all the same. This is what if the poor people can afford to switch bodies, this is what they can possibly do. And so now she's this young girl trapped in a man's body. And the body when I was reading the descriptions, it just reminded me so much of Frankenstein, and how you create this thing, but then if you don't love it, it becomes a monster. And that's kind of a theme that was going, this how we're the ones creating these monsters. And so she has this body that's literally breaking down on her. It was so poorly put together. The seams are breaking down. Some of the body parts are decaying. And she basically has just over a year before this body is going to give out. And she is desperate to try to still live, but not in this body, because it's not her. It's not who she is. And so she, on a whim, steals this or tries to steal this rich looking body, a female, and it gets her trapped in a whole bunch of stuff. She gets found out, captured, and instead of being destroyed, the guy who captures her asks her to basically be a mercenary for hire, because this world that they're living in, there's not only this big separation between the rich and the poor, but there's also racism involved, because there was a recent war, and now the colonizing area won, and so any of the slum people, the brown people, the poor, are second-class citizens if they're even considered citizens at all. And then there's also this magic system involved, where I'm already probably ruining it and confusing people, but there's this magic system involved where depending on what you're good at, so you basically have to know yourself well, and the more you know yourself, the more you learn and grow as a human, the stronger you become with your magic. So if you were really good at math, you're more your magic manifests like with physical stuff. You can create things, you can fold things, you can build things and grow things. Or if you're really good at reading people, your things are your magic is you can influence them, you can make them see things that aren't there, you can make them see or not see things that are there. Like there's all these different kinds of things. In each one, their magic manifests differently, but with what is inherent to who they are as a person, which is really cool to grow and learn. Where this gets unique, though, is that you never know who to trust, and you never really know what's going on, because people can swap bodies. And then you have this magic school, and it's nothing at all like, Harry Potter or even Percy Jackson. The magic school is just one extra thing that separates the elite from the other. And so it almost is the representation of colonization, and how you want to control the narrative, you want to control who gets what and who has access to what, and you do this by continuously growing that gap between the poor and the wealthy, through the magic system that only the elite are allowed access to, through the bodies that you have access to. So the themes are not only colonization and racism, and basically you also have like ageism, and how as you age and grow, you don't want your broken down body. You want to still feel how you are. So you just create younger and younger versions. And the unique thing you mentioned is that all these customized bodies, they're all the same kind of beauty. They're this perfection, and they're also white. And so that says a lot about how they see themselves and how they view the world, and what's acceptable, what's beautiful, and what's not. And so of course, with this huge divide going on, you're going to have these different factions of people. And so you have these regular humans without powers, whether they're rich or poor, they have no powers. And they're rallying against those with powers because people with power scares them. What they're capable of scares them. But then you have the separation of the rich and the poor, with the poor on both sides, magic or unmagicked, want to rise up. So there's this revolution starting. And then you have the main villain, who used to be one of the magic people at the school, who turned on the school and is basically destroying, blowing up the world, for good or for bad. And that's who our protagonist is tasked to stop. And she's given this band of misfits to try to work with as they're trying to put it into all this destruction. And you just get to delve deep into this world of who's, the villains and the heroes, or good or bad. It's all relative when you're looking at it from a certain lens. And then also she has to deal with her own identity issues. It's really hard to have her magic grow when magic is manifesting based on how well you know yourself. And if you don't match the person that the world sees, then it's hard for your magic to grow, because you feel less than, you feel like who you are is wrong, and you just don't understand how to fix it and how to get better. And so there's all this stuff going on at the surface of our character, as she tries to navigate this very confusing, very complex, very wholly original, amazing world. It's original in the scope of what's done here, but like I said, these themes are things that we recognize in our world. We see these disparities. We see people dying, where the cure is out there, they just can't afford it. And so that's what's going on here. And it's just, I thought, so beautifully done. Like I said, I've never thought before to do a video reading blog or vlog where you get to see my reactions as I'm reading it. But the amount of times that I just like shouted like, what, what's going on? Or just the twists aren't out there in a way that, of course, you didn't see it coming. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, you couldn't have seen it coming. There's just so many things, so many layers to it. And the body swapping is just the surface level of it, but it makes everything you read, you have to pay attention, and you're constantly thinking, is this who I think it is? Is this who they think it is? What's going on here? And so, like, some of the times maybe you can guess, some of the times you're just flat out wrong. And I just, I devoured it. I loved it. And the good thing is, it is a fantasy. It is, there's going to be a part 2, a book 2. So there is definitely more to come. It ends in a fantastic way that has you wanting more. But that first main arc is finished. And the reveals here were great. The character development was fantastic. The found family she was able to create is once again one of my favorite things to read about. And I literally, I personally loved everything about this book, and I cannot wait for more. And the idea, or the truth that, Petra Lord is, this is her first book. So I am excited for all the things to come with her, and what the literary world was given with this incredible talent. And what the fantasy world now has as a cornerstone to add to by knowing that you can create these immersive worlds and these very unique storytelling where you don't have to cut and paste and have everything feel like it's something you've already read before. There was a bunch of different aspects, and the magic system itself was really fun to explore and to see as each person grew in themselves, what they became capable of, to see the different magics and how they were used, even when you understood what that kind of magic could do, seeing how it manifests differently in each person, seeing how power can corrupt, but also how being given power when you've never had anything, how that can either make you, become the villain yourself, or like, it's just interesting to see what you would do with that power if you've never had it before. Are you going to fall into the same problems that those who came before you did, or are you going to rise above it somehow? How just the acceptance of yourself for the first time and having other people accept you as well empowers you to become more powerful. And also just the idea that you don't want to just make assumptions when you meet people, when you hear things, like in life in general, hero worshiping, or looking down on someone because you assume, or just seeing one side of the story without both sides of the story. Like, just the way that it subverts so many of the things that we're kind of used to, in a way that makes sense, in a way that's intriguing and fun to read. And on top of all of that, there was elements of like this magic world, but there were heist elements too. So that, she becomes a mercenary and they're supposed to, catch the bad guys. So they have to do different crazy things to try to get information. And I love reading heist books. I love watching heist movies. So to have that kind of aspect within this magical world was just icing on the cake for me. Like I said, I feel like this was written exactly for me because it had everything I love in a book. Every element that absolutely fascinates me, gets me intrigued and thinking, and just wanting to talk about it. I need more people to read it just so I can talk about it with people, because I want to say all the things that I don't want to spoil here. I want to talk about the ending. I want to talk about the different twists. I want to talk about just the way that that our main character Anna moves within the world, and how you can improve your station. One of the things that you can do is, being from the low class, you can still try to challenge one of the nobles for their bodies. And if you win that duel, if you win that challenge, you swap places and you can oust them from their body and take over that body, and then you can be a noble now. You get to live as that person, and everyone has to accept you as that person. You get all the benefits that go with it, the money that goes with it, the prestige that goes with that family name, because bodies aren't what's important. It's the reputation. It's the prestige, because bodies can be swapped. So just the idea that there is a possibility to become someone, but what you have to do it is basically steal their life from someone else. So it's the idea of, is the grass really greener on the other side? Or the idea of walking a mile in someone else's shoes. Like, it feels so great at the time, or you think it will be amazing, and then you get there and you're realizing that their problems might be even bigger than your own. And so just this, so much, like, as you can see, I'm just so excited about it, so emotional about it. I just was enthralled by it. And I know that it's not for everyone. There's a lot of queer themes in there that might not resonate with everybody. There's all the world building that you have to pay attention to, because with all the different people switching bodies, or not being who you think they are, or being more than what you think they are, you really have to pay attention. It's not one that you can just, not pay much attention to or just fly through. You have to be engaged, and just let the story take you there. Don't have any expectations. Don't wish it to be something different, because you can't possibly wish it to be something different, because what it is something you've never seen before. And so just let it take you wherever it's going to take you, if you're open to it, and enjoy the ride, because it is a fun ride. Anyway, I really hope I did it justice. I wish I could find a way to shout out to Petra probably, and just how amazing it is, how proud I am to have read it, and to know that this book exists in the world, and that this is her first. I just want to throw her all the laurels that she deserves, and hope that many people read this. But I also just want to get more people to read it. I actually read it this week, only having heard about it, because I wanted to do something. Trans Day of Visibility is on Tuesday, March 31st. So I wanted to read it for that. I'm going to do a different post where I'm just going to recommend a bunch of trans books. This was going to be one I was going to talk about having read, but I wanted to do a full separate video just of this book, because I thought it deserved it. And so I want to give it a shout out. I hope that I can figure out if she's on YouTube so I can tag her. I don't have any other social media to do that. But if you're inclined, please give this book a chance. Like I said, I accidentally found my new favorite book. And when you go into something with an open mind and no expectations, then I guess anything is possible. So I'm really glad that I read this, and I hope that you do too. Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. Thank you. Happy reading, and have a fantastic day.